So Trig and Grace, today you will exchange vows which unite you as husband and wife, and these words are a formal and public pledge of the love and of a promise of a lifelong dedication to each other. Whatever lies ahead for us,
I
promise to savour every moment,
I promise to savour every moment
as it is spent with you.
as it is spent with you.
I will listen to you,
I will listen to you,
confide in you,
and
as we evolve
and
and
grow,
love you and you each day.
love you and you each day.
Whatever lies ahead for us,
I promise to savour every moment,
I promise to savour every moment,
as it is spent with you.
as it is spent with you.
I will listen to you,
Confide in you,
and as we evolve and grow,
and as we evolve and grow,
love you and you each day.
And I present the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Telford Nicholson. Literally being whisked off my feet.
I'm delighted to welcome Trick to the family. So that's really good. From the day Grace was born, she's always been able to surprise us. She was born 14 weeks early, weighing less than 2 pounds. It's true, honestly it is. She was tiny and spent another 14 weeks in incubator and stopped breathing regularly and had 2 collapsed lungs and many other wonderful adventures. We knew from her experience that she'd become a little fighter. Determination is one of her strongest assets. And when she sets her mind on something, she doesn't stop it. So watch out, Trick. Her loves have been elephants, singing, skiing, dancing, swimming with dolphins, skipping up and down the Himalayas in Nepal, exploring the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador, singing in a carpool karaoke every time we came back from cleaning the office, family and friends, old and new, and last but not least, of course, Trick. Grace, I'm very proud of you. And I wish you and Trick all the happiness in the world. And I'd like to everybody to please stand up and join me in a toast to the happy couple, the bride and groom, Grace and Trick.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of me and my wife, I'd like to say how beautiful you all look. In the run-up to today, I've been reminiscing a lot on my life and how incomprehensibly unlikely it was that I'd end up here. And I'd quite like to tell you all about it. However, Grace always complains that when I tell a story, I always give way too much backstory and too many unimportant details. So I promise I'll try to keep this short. When I was 13, I won a competition to be a press packer on the children's news programme Newsround. And I got to go to something called Stunt Camp, where I would learn to be a stuntman. From then on, my dream job was to become an actor/stuntman. You can see how well it turned out. In sixth form, we had a career day, where you fill in an online form and it tells you what career is perfect for you. I got surgeon, which makes no sense, as my best subject at the time was drama. I'm rather squeamish and I have very shaky hands. I then got to have a nice long chat with the careers advisor, and I informed him of my dream to be a stuntman/actor. And I remember his response word for word was, "Are you sure? No one really makes it." Needless to say, I was crushed. I'd had no experience challenging the views of adults and teachers and took him at his word. At his prompting, we decided that a nice normal job for me to pursue would be pilot. And I went to university to study aerospace technology with pilot studies. Now, you might imagine that my talents and good grades in theatre studies wouldn't serve me particularly well in an engineering-based degree. And you would be right. I did do okay at the actual flying of the planes, at least, and I like to say that I'm just good enough that in the event of a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to grab Grace and the dog, steal the tow plane from Dunstable Gliding Club, load it up with tinned food and toilet roll, and fly us to a remote Scottish island. This was just the first in a long stream of failures for me. I know. My next several failures were all romantic in nature. After a particularly bad one of these times, I decided to take every penny that I'd saved up, quit my day job, and try working full-time in film and TV. In the end, I spent 3 years working in film and TV, and the thing I'm most grateful for are the friends who I met either directly on set or through friends that I met on set, many of whom are here today. I was hired rather quickly to work in Watford Leisure Centre, where they informed me that the advertised salary of £18,000 was now £15,000. But seeing as I'd turned everything else down, I had no other choice. So I took it, worked incredibly hard, because if you've ever met my dad, at some point he'll have probably mentioned the value of hard graft. So I didn't complain, I worked really hard, and I got promoted to sales manager, where they agreed that this role of responsibility warranted a salary of £18,000. The low pay, long commute, and spending all of my money on helping us hit target meant that, despite working 242 hours a month, I was having to choose between food, petrol, or debt. I was beginning to feel like this was yet another failure. Around this time, a woman came into my office, on the last day of the month, which was when we needed to hit all our targets by, and it was very stressful. And she wanted to cancel her gym membership, and what followed was a 1-hour tirade, where I explained just how hard my life was, and how hard my job was, and how awful they were treating us, and I was basically trapped into working for free. And she said, "Oh, you come work where I work. It's a software company called Articad." And the rest is history. The reason I tell this story isn't for sympathy, or just because I have a microphone and I love the sound of my own voice, but to make the point that for decades I failed. I failed over and over again. I failed in love, I failed in my career, and I certainly failed in my aspirations to have a physique like Chris Hemsworth. I'm just trying to get a bit taller. And this knowledge of my own undeniable failure was a weight I carried on my back, a chip on the shoulder, so to speak. And then I met Grace. If I had followed my dream and studied acting instead of aerospace, I wouldn't have ended up in this part of the country. If I'd been a little less hopeless in love, I might have foolishly settled for someone far inferior to the literal goddess who is sat beside me. If I had succeeded as an actor, I wouldn't have ended up working in sales in a leisure centre on the day that a woman came in to cancel her gym membership. And if I had worked out enough to look like Chris Hemsworth, Grace assures me she wouldn't have been interested. I'm not buying it. Grace, it wasn't until I met you that it put everything into perspective, and I realised that none of these things were failures. In fact, they were all huge successes because they led me to you. You've retrospectively made me happy for every struggle I've ever faced. And if I could go back and live it all over again, the only thing I would do differently is I would appreciate the failures. As each one happened, I would smile because though I didn't know it at the time, each one was a step closer to you. You make me grateful not just for the life we have together, but for every day of life I ever have had and ever will, because they're all part of the story of how I fell in love with you. Please, everyone. Stand and join me in toasting the most beautiful woman in the world, to the bride! To the bride!
Hi, Grace.
Hello.
Before Trick met you, he was, to put it bluntly, mopey. However, then he met you, and that all completely disappeared. Now, instead of that, we get to listen to him go on and on about just how wonderful you are all the frickin' time. It's like, yes, Trick, I know I've met her quite a few times at this point. You don't need to tell me every time I see you.
I still will.
Yeah, I know you will. When you and Grace first started dating, I could see just how happy you were, and she seemed great. And for the first time with one of your relationships, I thought, all right, this might actually work, which obviously made me very happy for you, but also a little bit sad because I was very aware of your penchant for just disappearing off whenever you got into a relationship. So I did think, okay, well, if this does work, I might end up losing a best friend here. Now, again with the patronising. However, thanks mainly to Grace's ability to organise your social life for you as if she's your mother when you're 7 years old, that didn't actually end up happening. And I'm very happy to say that I did not end up losing a best friend. Instead, I gained another.
Can we have that one? It's not patronising. Yeah.
Okay, you're allowed that one.
Thank you.
Okay, toast time, because I want to get drunk. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the bride and groom's health, wealth, and happiness.
Baby, I just want to tell you that no. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do.
gold in your eyes, son, a glow on your face, like a seaside sunrise somewhere along the PCH. It's cold in New England, may that chill grant you grace, the grace to remember, sonny, that home is not a place. I'd take out a loan for just one day alone, to run back the time in slow motion. I'd sell my guitars, I'd spend life behind bars, to take one more trip through the starry night. 'Cause this was the best day of my life. Thanks for the best day of my life. Can't promise you ease, can't promise you peace, my boy, but with heart on my sleeve, I'll give you every bit of me. I'll give you every bit of me. I'll take out a loan for just one day alone, to run back the time in slow motion. I'll sell my guitars, I'll spend life behind bars, to take one more trip through the starry night. This was the best day of my life. Thanks for the best day of my life.